My name is Randi Rubenstein, and welcome to the Mastermind Parenting Podcast. At Mastermind Parenting, we're on a mission to support strong-willed kids and the families that love them. You're listening to the Mastermind Parenting Podcast with Randi Rubenstein, and welcome to today's show. Well, hello, little beauties. Are you guys digging into 2023? I know I'm trying. I'm really trying. I've sort of been coming out of my hibernation and just thinking about you guys and thinking about what I want to share with you this year, this week. Sometimes it can be hard for me to get granular and I think big picture. But there was something that kept popping into my mind, and it really is a lot of people, they come to me and ask, what do you think about this? Do you think I handled this the right way? Right? Like, I let my kid do X, Y, and Z, but I don't know. I don't know if it's right. Like something that recently happened, I had a parent of an 8-year-old say, like, my kid, he doesn't really want to sign up for ski team, and they live in Montana. And so he doesn't really want to sign up for ski team. Like, he has a good time when he goes and he does the skiing thing with his friends, but mostly during the school week, like, he keeps saying he doesn't want to sign up. He just wants to come home. And when he comes home, he loves to Lego. He loves to play. He loves to create. He's super imaginative. I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And I said, yeah, in Montana, it's ski team. If you were in Houston, Texas, it would be baseball. Maybe it's gymnastics. Maybe it's soccer, right? So is it the right thing to do to let my kid just come home and play rather than signing him up for the baseball or whatever the sport is in your region? And the dilemma, I think, is, well, will my kid miss out and sort of blame me later for not, if they feel badly that they're not as good as their friends at a certain sport, or they can't compete, or they never make the basketball team or the ski team or the this or the that, because I didn't force them to learn the skills when they were younger? Are they going to come back and blame me for this? Like, is this just part of the deal? Am I teaching them that just because you want to do what's fast and easy now, like, you don't lean into the hard work? Am I giving them the wrong message? Or if I force them to sign up for these things, are they going to end up hating me for pushing them too hard and for not letting them relax and enjoy their childhood more? Then are they going to be, are they going to be blaming me later for decisions I'm making now? And I think the real question that people are asking me is, can you just give me the roadmap to be a good parent? Like, I just want to be a good parent. Like, what does a good parent do when it comes to this thing? Just tell me what to do. Okay. So I want to talk today about what is a good parent. Let's define it. Let's talk about it, right? How do you know if you truly are making the right decisions where you can pat yourself on the back and say, I know I'm a good parent? Or years from now, you can look back and say, I was a good parent, right? So this is what I'll say. You are definitely a good parent. You know how I know? You might be like, well, how do you know? You don't know me. Actually, I yelled at my kid. I lost my mind. I called him an asshole. I did whatever it is that you did. I'm totally not present. I don't enjoy you have all of these things, all of this evidence, maybe in the back of your mind, why you're worried that you're not a good parent. And I'm here to tell you, I know for sure that you're a good parent because you listen to things like this. If you weren't a good parent, you wouldn't be listening to things like this. A good parent also understands there's no such thing as perfection when it comes to parenting. There's just not. There's no such thing as perfection when it comes to humaning. Anybody who is trying to make you think that they're perfect or that their life is perfect or that they have all the answers. I promise you, that person has so much going on behind the curtains. If you pulled back the curtains to their Wizard of Oz, the wizard wouldn't be so Wizardry? Wizardy? I don't know the right word. I'm just going to make up a word for that. So we're just going to go with that. So the thing is, when you're listening to things like this, right? Think about it. You could be watching puppies and sleeping babies together. Those are my new favorite things that show up on the like For You reels or whatever. Those are my favorite thing. I saw this doodle. I cannot find the video of again, but I wanted to send it to people. But it was a doodle, a giant doodle dog. Y'all know I'm dog obsessed. And it was like a sleeping baby that was in the full footy PJs. It looked all fresh and bathed. It was sucking on a pacifier and it was like maybe 6 months old. And the baby and the puppy were completely immersed in each other sleeping. It's like my favorite video I've seen in a long time. So you could be watching puppies and sleeping babies right now, but you're instead, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening to this on on your podcast app, you're here right now. You're not doing that. You could be watching Hulu or what's my new favorite? Fleshman's in Trouble. Have y'all seen that? It's so good. It's hard, but it's so good. It's so good. You could be watching Fleshman's in Trouble right now. Really. Okay. So I know this might sound a little bit cheesy, and I'm just gonna be vulnerable here and be cheesy and say a good parent, you know what makes a good parent? A good parent is one that strives to be better by learning and growing and pushing themselves to learn new things. Okay. And what I'm also going to tell you is that it most often takes a difficult or strong willed kid, a little canary in the coal mine, right? The canaries in the coal mine, that's the saying, like danger, danger. It takes that strong willed or difficult or challenging kid to force us to take the time, right? To take the time to listen to things like this, to want to strive to be a better parent. Because what we know is that if you are here listening to this, you're not going to stop. You know your kid is struggling, and you know that you're not going to stop until you figure out how to help them to feel better. And when they feel better, they will automatically do better, right? So they'd be easier if they could. Okay. We know they need our help when they constantly are freaking out over little deals and they make them into way bigger deals. So when you have a kid who's struggling, who's challenging, who's strong-willed, who's quite often in nervous system dysregulation, which is just a fancy way of saying like, when you've had those days where your nervous system sort of feels blown. I love Brene Brown's the way I've heard her talking about this recently when she compares being stressed and being overwhelmed. Your nervous system, when it's stressed, it's like the wait person at a restaurant who's in the weeds and they need their coworkers to like run bread out to this one or pick up a check from this table. The wait person who's blown is in full blown overwhelm. That means their nervous system is taxed. And what she teaches is that when you're in overwhelm, when your nervous system is blown, what they would do at the restaurant she worked at was you had to go take 15 minutes. Like nothingness is the only way back into the land of regulation when your nervous system feels blown. So when you have a strong-willed or struggling kid, they're quite often their nervous system is blown. And so they make all of the little deals into big deals because when you're in that state, little deals are big deals, right? So if you have a strong-willed kid and they're walking around in the land of dysregulation most of the time. And they're constantly freaking out over all of these little deals. Maybe they're freaking out because their sister's breathing too loudly or chewing too loudly. Or maybe they melt down because they haven't learned that little trick where you hold on to the sleeves, and when you put on your coat or your jacket and you have to hold on to your sleeves. And so every time they go to put on their jacket, the shirt sleeves get all bunched up. I hate that. I hated that feeling. Get all bunched up and then they have to figure out how to pull them through. And just all of that feels exhausting to them. And you're like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Why are you freaking? They're constantly making little deals into big deals because they're walking around just blown. And so everything does feel like a big deal. So we have to learn how to help them through all of these little moments, right? We have to help them go through it. And what really helps us to navigate that is what we're thinking about them making the little deals into big deals. So if we worry that this kid is never going to be able to handle life, is never going to be able to, if they can't even navigate dealing with bunched up shirts in your, shirt sleeves in your jacket, how is this kid going to handle all of the stress that life throws your way? Like, how are they going to be able to hold it together? Are they just going to lose their mind out in the wild with other people? And other people are going to see them as a little disrespectful, ridiculous lunatic, right? If we start going into that panicked thinking, then quite often what happens is then we exacerbate the situation because they feel our stress and overwhelm over their stress and overwhelm. I know it's a little bit of some mind fuckery. I get it. It can be a hard thing to figure out. When they're overwhelmed, when we're overwhelmed and we're all blown, what we know is that it's just like Groundhog Day. It's just the same thing again and again and again and again. So our strong-willed ones, what they are here to force us to do is to learn some new things, right? To learn how to master our minds, to learn my framework, right? My framework. So anybody who comes in and works with me and just know we're actually creating a new video series for podcast listeners for you guys to sort of learn kind of the cliff notes of our framework, our Nice Wings framework to solve any problem, to solve all the problems, which is a framework that we take you through anytime we have a kid who's freaking out over little deals or big deals. It's this framework that we go through that help us to be those grounded grown-ups, to be those calm people that solve problems. Hi, podcast listeners. I want to invite you to our weekend warm-up free coaching call. Our next one is January 20th from 2 to 3 p.m. Central. And this month, it's all about lying. So I know this is a theme that comes up so often in coaching. We want our kids to tell the truth, right? Like, is it too much to ask? As my son, Alec, likes to say, we hate liars. We don't want to raise that liar kid. We don't want our kids lying to us, even lying by omission. We want them to own up when they make a mistake. We want them to learn from their mistakes. So we're going to talk all things lying. I want to coach you live. This is really a free coaching call that I do for my podcast listeners and for those of you who have followed on social media. And it's my chance to get to know you and, more importantly, get to help you. So come to the next weekend warm-up coaching call. It is totally free and it's a lot of fun. And I can't wait to meet you. So just go to mastermindparenting.com/weekend. That's mastermindparenting.com/weekend. Can't wait to meet you. So your strong-willed one is it's sort of like having a tough personal trainer, right? Like it's the beginning of the year. So I know a lot of you have fitness goals or health goals. So you're like, okay, I tried to do it last year. I kept blowing it off. I kept blowing it off. So this year, I'm going to hire that super tough personal trainer and they're going to hold me accountable. The one that like kicks your ass and pushes you to accomplish that big goal. And so maybe that that's typically how, like, you're never going to run the marathon unless you join the running group and you have that tough, coach that's going to be like, stop walking. You need to go. Maybe that's what helps you to like push yourself and holds you accountable. I don't know. Y'all can tell. That is demotivating for me, but I know many of you sort of need that kick in the pants. Well, your strong-willed one is that tough personal trainer. That's the kick in the pants, right? Because if you want to achieve your fitness goals, right? That dream body or, whatever it is that you're envisioning, you're going to have to work out hard and lay off the fries and the cookies. Like, that. And it's going to be hard. That when you go to the gym and you start working out after a long time of not working out, that it is going to be like excruciating pain every time you want to go sit down on the toilet. Those squats, right? They're killers. And when you are going to the burger joint with your family and you're ordering the grilled chicken sandwich with no cheese and you're only eating half a bun and you're not having any French fries and you can't have that delicious shake that you normally order because you're committed to your fitness goals, that your mouth is going to be salivating and it's going to be really hard and you're going to have a plan in place to stick to your protocol of eating what you said you were going to eat because you're envisioning that dream body. And so you've rehearsed what it's going to be like during all those hard moments when it's, time to do the 20th squat or time to just eat your grilled chicken half a sandwich. It's going to be hard. So if you truly want that dream family situation that you've always wanted, right? You got to just understand that being a cycle breaker, right? Doing things differently than it was done for you when you were growing up, learning and retraining your brain to show up differently and to keep that promise that you had for yourself so long ago. I'm never going to give my kids a guilt trip about this thing. I'm never going to yell at my kids. I'm never going to hit my kids. I'm never going to do X, Y, and Z. You have to know it's hard work, right? It's hard work. If behavior change or doing things differently than the way they were done for us, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Okay. So your strong-willed kid is your ass-kicking personal trainer that makes sure that you work hard to make your dreams of that peaceful home you've always wanted your reality. It's not going to just happen. And when we have a kid that is difficult to live with, that is showing us that life is overwhelming for them, and that's why nothing's easy and they constantly make little deals into big deals, right? That's the call. They're the canary saying, guess what? Remember, you didn't like the way things were done for you. And so now you've given birth to me, or you've become my parent, however it is. Maybe you adopted me, but you became my parent. And I am now letting you know that you're going to have to learn some new ways of helping me to feel grounded and safe in the world so that I learn the skills to regulate my nervous system. And ultimately, I'm able to not make such a big deal or freak out over all the little things. I've got some tools in my toolbox, but I need you, my parent, to show me, to help me. And the way you've been doing it is not the way. If it was the way, then I wouldn't continuously be getting more difficult. I wouldn't be still constantly, causing you to feel overwhelmed because my behavior is letting you know I'm just acting on the outside the way I feel on the inside. I need you to help me learn some new skills, right? So I think I just want you guys to know a good parent is someone who doesn't just stay stuck, who shows up for things like this and considers yourself a cycle breaker. I think that being a cycle breaker is just part of evolution. I mean, that's really what we're supposed to do. We're just supposed to evolve and do it a little bit better than the generation before us. And I'm not saying the generation before us did everything wrong at all. They did a lot right. Many parents of yesteryear did things. I mean, talk about pack leadership. Like when it comes to pack leadership, many of us have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. We've made our homes too much of a democracy. There's way too much talk. There's not enough follow through. And so many of the parents of yesteryear, they had that pack leadership. I say we're bringing a lot of that back. Okay. So I want you to have this sentence in your head. Okay. For the next time that your parenting personal trainer, AKA your strong-willed kid, drags your ass through a hard workout. Okay. When they're freaking out about some little deal, I want you to have this sentence in your head. Calm people solve problems. Calm people solve problems. Okay. This is going to help you remember that you are that calm person that is a cycle breaker. Nothing ever gets solved when we're freaking out. Calm people solve problems. And if this is helpful, I want you to send this podcast to a mom friend that you know needs to hear this too. Okay. And the other thing I want you guys to do is I want you to check out my basics bootcamp program, right? This is where I really break out my framework. And we do have a video series coming. If you know you're ready, it's the new year. By the end of 2023, you want to have your family in an entirely new place. I mean, really, if you want to change your life and change your current reality, then go check out my Basics Bootcamp program. And that's where I'm able to hold your hand and clear those eggshells out of your house and take away all of this parenting insecurity, because you are a good parent. You're here. And if you're ready for more, I want you to go to mastermindparenting.com/basics-bootcamp. The link will also be in the show notes. And really look at our program. It doesn't even take a whole year. It's 12 weeks. We hold your hand, and I want you to go check it out, sign up, schedule a call with us if you want to find out more and find out if it is a good fit. And I would love, love, love to help you this year, because our program is amazing and your family deserves the best. And excuse me for not being so humble when I say our program is the best. It's amazing. So that's what I've got for you this week. And if anything, calm people solve problems. You are a cycle breaker. You are an amazing parent, not just a good parent, an amazing parent. And I can't wait to see what 2023 brings for you and your family. I think it's going to be an amazing year. Thanks for listening today, guys. I hope you picked up some tips, tools, maybe some baby steps for creating more balance and boundaries in your life. And I just wanted to let you know, if you want to continue moving the needle forward in creating this for yourself, having a happier household, I want you to go to my website and check out mastermindparenting.com. We have 3 beginning programs, and if you need some accountability and more support, then please look for the one that would be a good fit for you. And as always, we're on all the social channels under Mastermind Parenting. On Instagram, it's mastermind_parenting. And, periodically I do pop up on different Instagram lives, Facebook lives, where I give you teaching and coaching, and I love engaging with you live to help you help your strong-willed kids so that they can feel better, because when they feel better, they do better. And I love, love, love getting to know you guys. So thanks for listening. If you like this podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Super, super appreciative.